All right, so today we are going to look at the top 10 stocks that are being bought up like crazy by retail investors. You know, me and you, the little guys, these are the stocks that we are buying up the most. There are some big surprises and some new stocks on this list and a big change at the top. And I couldn't believe the stocks that were on here. And I honestly cannot believe the stocks that didn't make the list too. I mean, seriously, what the heck are we doing as a retail community with some of these picks? So let's go over each stock today and discuss the goods and the bads with each, and I'll let you know whether or not it's basically a pump it or a dump it, in my opinion on the stocks. Just make sure you like the video if you like getting the truth without the hype. That's exactly how you guys let me know, hey, I like this kind of video. I want to hear more about all these different stocks that we don't normally talk about here on this channel. So let me know that by hitting that like button. Now, please keep in mind, I did not make this list. These are not my stock picks or anything else. I am simply pulling a list where it gave me the top 10 stocks that retail investors are buying right now today. And that right there is what I'm going off of here. So this is us, guys. It's representative of what we're buying. And so let's jump into them now. So stock number one is GameStop. And again, we start right here with one that I don't know what we're doing as a retail crowd, guys. I don't understand it. Nothing's good in the earnings reports. It definitely is way, way, way overvalued. There's just not a lot here with GameStop at all, much like AMC as well. There just isn't anything here. So I don't know what we're doing as a retail community here. I guess people are still holding out for some sort of ultimate squeeze. I don't know. I mean, I can't explain this one in any way, shape, or form. It's definitely a dump it for me. Maybe there's a trade there. Cool. Awesome. You know, if you're into trading and trying to do these crazy, you know, Wall Street bet style trades, okay, I got it. But I'm not a trader. I'm a long-term buy and hold investor. And this is definitely not a stock I have any interest in at all. So stock number 9 is Trump Media. So you guys know I don't do politics on this channel at all. So this is not a political take. And if you have a reason to buy it that's political, fine. But I'm talking about it from an investor's perspective. And from an investor's perspective, there's virtually no revenue. There's no guidance that there's no plan to turn profitability anytime soon. There's really nothing there except for huge expenses, you know, millions of dollars coming out, way more than what's coming in there, and a massive, massive valuation that has zero justification and any path to actually get there. So for me, this is strictly a dump it. And it's just one of those ones. I guess it was kind of a thing there for a little while. To trade in and out of it, I don't know. You know, like I said, it was kind of one of those things that to me, I don't see a whole lot there for now. Could that change in the future? Sure, it absolutely could. But based upon all the information we have right now, there's literally nothing here to invest in. So for me, I got to stay away. So stock number 8 is Disney. Now, since Disney kind of had its whole, I don't know, anyways, all that garbage like that, you know, basically late last year into early this year there, they were on a significant discount and we were buying in the high 70s or so. I know some of you guys actually picked up shares a little bit cheaper than I did as well. And we're up significantly on those shares. So obviously that was a great buy, but Disney still has business problems that they need to solve. Again, I'm not going to wade into all the rest of the other stuff that's out there, but they have significant business problems that they're trying to solve and they haven't solved them yet. They haven't really given us a clear path yet to how they're going to solve those business issues. They make some small moves, but there's obviously some larger moves that still need to happen to show that the business is back on track and moving in the right direction there. Now, yes, it got disproportionately beat down because of everything there, so there's definitely a move there to make. But moving forward, for me, this one is cautiously a pump it, but you have to understand what you're doing and understand the risk with this stock. If they do not turn the business problems around, then you're going to have problems in the stock. It's basically going to go nowhere because they need to solve those first. If they're able to solve those, you're going to have a very nice stock on a very nice discount. But if they're not able to solve those, unfortunately, it's one that's just kind of, meander and kind of go nowhere. So you got to understand that. So stock number 7 is Meta. You guys know this one's a pump it for me. Got beat down after earnings. I have no idea why. Wall Street's dumb. Great earnings. There was nothing there. I understand they had a little bit of weak guidance per se, but it's just a cash printing machine. Good on us as a retail crowd to continue to buy that dip on that stock because it's still undervalued. And I can point to a lot of other stocks that are retail favorites on this list here as I look through it and go, why the heck would you be buying that versus Meta? The return on investment is going to be much higher with Meta. But hey, again, not my list, not what I would do, but Meta absolutely for me is a pump it. Stock number 6 is Microsoft. Again, another great stock that I'm going to have to say pump it on, but I will give a little bit of caution with this one because the valuation is rich. And I'm not saying it's not justified. I'm not saying Microsoft hasn't been crushing it, but it is. You are paying on the upper end of what you should be paying for this particular stock here, which could limit the upside for the rest of the year here. Now, I'm not saying that they're doing so many different things and they're trying so many different things, especially out there in the AI space. They're one announcement away from the next leg up. But ChatGPT hasn't really been the Google killer that everybody thought, and a lot of other things like that. They have some exciting things in process, and I think they're going to have some releases in the future here that are going to be exciting as well. So it's definitely not a stock, if you're interested in it, I would necessarily shy away from. You just need to understand from a valuation standpoint, it's trading more on the rich end of the scale, not crazy, not extremely overvalued, avoid it, but it's definitely trading kind of on that rich end of what fair value is for Microsoft. So just be a little bit cautious there when you own it and understand where you're paying for it and why. So stock number 5 is Ford. And this is another one of those baffling picks that comes up all the time. And it makes me wonder, what the heck are we thinking as a retail crowd? Now, I understand there's probably a trade there with Ford. I have no idea. But this is one of the reasons why Wall Street thinks we're kind of silly, why we don't know what we're doing, because this one right here outranks great companies like Microsoft and Meta in regards to what we're buying the most there. For me, this is clearly a dump it, but for some reason, we want this stock more than we want a stock like Palantir, for example, which you figured it would be a retail favorite. It didn't even crack the top 10 in the rankings there in regards to who's buying it. So clearly, retail is somehow sold on Ford, but not sold on Palantir yet, and I don't understand the play here. Even if Ford can turn things around, there's not a lot of profit, not a lot of upside potential for this stock. So I don't understand this one at all. Another one that I'm just completely baffled by. And for me, it's a complete dump it. And no, as a newer investor, I would not add Ford to my portfolio at all. But would I add Palantir to a new portfolio if I was a new investor getting ready to invest and try to grow my portfolio and I'm basically starting at zero? Well, you'll get that exact answer for just $15 if you take the $250 legacy portfolio challenge, where I'm essentially starting at zero and building out a six-figure plus portfolio from scratch, from zero there, putting in $250 a week, and we're going to build out that portfolio and see exactly how to do that. And I'm going to show you step by step every stock that I buy. We got more buys coming tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, guys. That right there is when I got my next round of buys going on. So make sure you jump on those spots because they are limited, and when they go away, the price is going to go back up for them. And if you want to see all the rest of my buy and sell alerts in real time on all my different portfolios and see our expert investors who are actually crushing me right now in a $250 portfolio challenge in regards to return, consider becoming a full member where you get all that plus 5 free courses. You get to jump on our live Q&As anytime you want. You get my complete watch list with price targets. You get to be a part of the best 6, 7, and 8-figure Discord out there, guys. And there's so much coming to the group and so much more. Just check out the pinned comment down there before the price goes up and you miss out on your membership. All right, so stock number 4 is NVIDIA. Guys, this one has been neglected. I've had it as a pump it for a very long time, and they continue to crush earnings quarter after quarter. And if you listen, which hopefully you are, to all the other big tech earnings, they're all buyers. They're buying up as many of these chips as possible. So for me, the runway for NVIDIA is very, very long. Now, how long it can go, I don't know, but I would say for at least the next year, according to earnings from all the other big dogs in the tech space with, tens of billions of dollars or more to invest in AI, they are all buying NVIDIA's chips at, as fast as they can print them or as fast as they can make them, they're buying them. So that to me tells me this stock still has a long runway to go in regards to share appreciation. So absolutely, NVIDIA would be a pump it for me. Number 3 is Amazon. We finally got a nice move up there in Amazon. It's been another stock that's just been on a tear since it got down in those 80s. I don't know what people were thinking. It's Amazon. It's a great company. They don't spin off a lot of profits because they put all the money back into the business. That's been the business model per se since Bezos started the whole thing, and it's continued on to today. There's no reason to think that in 5 years from now, Amazon is not going to be in a better spot than they are right now. So for me, absolutely a pump it. Great job, you guys, gobbling up shares. Hopefully you've been gobbling up shares this entire time so that way you have a nice position built out in the stock. So stock number 2 is Apple. You guys know Apple is my favorite. It's my largest position by a mile. I've had it for a very, very, very long time, but I can't say that they're not slowing down. They're seeing obviously a significant slowdown. Now you see the strength in the share price itself because it, hey, not so great earnings, not so great guidance. And the share price basically dipped just a little bit there. You didn't really get much of a dip in regards to Apple. So that's one of the reasons why I just tell you, when you own it, caution you, hey, it's still trading right. If you want to call it fair value, okay, maybe a little bit rich. Okay, I could buy that too. So you got to understand where you're buying in that cycle and understand that if Apple doesn't, make a big AI announcement of some sort by the end of the year here, Wall Street may lose a little bit of patience with it. Now, again, the shareholder base is super solid. So I don't think we get crazy movements in Apple. But nonetheless, unless something like that happens here, this is going to be one of those down periods for Apple. So you got to be patient if you buy it. And on to the last stock here that we're going to talk about. And it's a new number 1. It's been number 1 before. It is back on top again. So let's talk about the last one here. And stock number 1 would be Tesla. You guys know I own Tesla. I'm bullish on Tesla, despite what everybody tends to tell me in the comments, just because I don't think it's going to Mars tomorrow or anything like that. Somehow you're a bear, whatever the case is. For me, this is absolutely a pump it, but I caution you, not because I'm worried about the stock price or what Elon's going to tweet or anything else like that, but because it's the most volatile large cap stock in the history of the stock market. It's going to run up for no good reason, and all the pumpers are going to come out and say it's going to the moon, and then it's going to crash down for very silly reasons as well. And you're just going to be left scared, and everybody's saying it's a terrible stock and everything else like that. And Elon's a loose cannon, whatever the case is. The point being, if you're going to own Tesla, you have to be ready for a roller coaster. You're going to feel like a genius one week, and then the next week you're going to feel like a complete moron for buying where you bought it at. And that is part of the journey with Tesla. It's not about today, it's not about tomorrow, it's about where we're going in the future, and more importantly, getting through this time period. So make sure you're listening to those earnings calls, not hype videos, not anything else like that, not Luke's take. Make sure you're listening to the earnings so that way you understand kind of where we're at in the cycle in regards to the company and the company performance. And then you can kind of effectively look at, okay, how's Wall Street going to treat it as we kind of work through this particular time in the cycle? Because even though a lot of folks said Tesla was not cyclical, unfortunately, it has proven to be just as cyclical as every other automaker out there. And like I said, that's for now. Maybe in the future that's not true, but for right now, it is 100% true. So you got to understand that, understand where we're at in that cycle, and then make sure your decisions accordingly. And there's actually several stocks on this list that I buy. So if you want to see my complete watch list with price targets for those stocks, plus see all my buy and sell alerts on those stocks in real time, and take our $250 legacy portfolio challenge and watch me and other investors build out a complete awesome 6-figure plus portfolio from scratch, from zero there, make sure you check out the pinned comment. The new buys are coming tomorrow, and you guys want to be on that, see that, and build it with us here in real time. Plus get all the other benefits, especially if you want to be a full member, all the education that you could ever need to learn how to value a stock, create a plan, and execute on that plan, and be able to take advantage of stocks when they're in the 80s and understand when they're overvalued, like when Tesla at 400 or anything else like that. So that way you avoid buying then and you're buying stocks in the 80s instead. Just check out the pinned comment down there and see if a membership's right for you. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market, and click here to see my exact plan for this market. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.